Yo, 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 what up, Mac? Here's the Maniacs. I was trying to play a song for y'all, but for some reason it's not working. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me on the microphone? Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Microphone check. Anybody there? Can you hear me? Holla if you hear me. Guess y'all can't hear me, right? Oh well, shit. Jay Ship, what up? Can you hear me, bro? Because I was trying to play some music and I can't play the music, so I'm wondering if the microphone's even working. I wish y'all would help me out and let me know. Oh, okay, Jay Ship, good looking out. Okay, got you. I don't know what's wrong with my music, but anyway, I had a question for y'all, for the Mac Kids and Maniac, not for you newcomers or anybody that's just passing through. Question: do you guys like my stories just a plain story, like with no music, no ambience, Dubs killing it, the Warriors, or the essay on YouTube? So look, I put some dramatic sounds in this video, right? And I kind of like it, right? But I want to know what you guys like, because if y'all don't like that shit, I won't put that shit in there no more. But if y'all like it, then that's cool. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll keep doing it. But good looking out. So y'all got a video in the morning. I'm gonna do another one tomorrow. I'm gonna try to just end this whole month with a story every day, right? Maybe not Friday. Friday, I mean, you'll get a story, but I won't work on a story. Maybe the whole weekend. So how about just weekdays? I got y'all a story on the weekdays for the rest of the month, right? So this one, and that's why I had that picture up there. This story right here, it's gonna be about Roscoe, man. It's gonna be about Roscoe. I actually left some clips out. The story is a little more well-rounded, but I left two clips out. And to be honest, I really don't want to go back and add them, and that'll be more time uploading and download. But I think it's good already, though. I don't think it messes up the story, though. Can you find a shooter for the Lakers in your spare time? I wish I could. Are you telling me they're not making no buckets tonight? Yeah, but it's not really music. You know what I'm saying? Charger, Dodger. Wow, LA Charger, Dodger. Miss 702 in the building again. I can't believe that shit. Perlana, what up? So I've been reading the comments, and it's pretty unanimous. Everybody love cutes. Everybody like cutes on this platform. And everybody is upset that I don't come on all the time. You gotta expect that. Like I said, if you know me or you've been watching this channel for a few years, you gotta know during baseball season I fall off. So from April to October, I'll be a little bit shaky. I get a little bit in the summer, but I'll be a little shaky during baseball season. Baseball season's over with. Good looking out, Brian Watson. A lot of people say me and Q's got great chemistry, and it's unrehearsed. We don't do nothing rehearsed. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the good part. But this is what I try to tell people. Salinas Report, what up? But this is what I try to tell people. You may not like our political views, right? We may say something that you don't agree with. But there's nobody on YouTube, period, man, bring you as much gang history and accuracy as Q's. I don't even think nobody's memory on YouTube is better than Q's. I mean, Q's came a long way from the first time I interviewed him in San Diego to now. It's like whatever fog he had in his brain, it's gone now. Like it's just his his brain is so clear now. I mean, who else can remember all these dudes, they name, where they lived, who they ran with, and give you guys a story? You guys ask for a story about Hoover Joe. Whoever you ask a story about, Q just comes right out. Oh, I got a good story about Hoover Joe. I got this, I got that. And he tells you what kind of shirts they had on this shit, why they did this and why they did that. You're not going to find nobody better than Cutes at this point. Maybe later down the line, somebody steps up. You got to wonder about their accuracy and their memory, though. So you got to love Cutes, man. If you hate Cutes, you got to hate me too, man. Because I roll with Cutes. And I was talking to one of my homies. I don't know if I should say his name or not, but he's a good homie of mine. He's a reputable homie of mine. He's about a year under me, but you would think from his reputation, he got me by like 5 years, 4 or 5 years, right? But the homie was like, man, I love Cutes. He like, Cutes the big homie. Mind you, this dude is from 60s. And he like, Cutes the big homie, man. I don't care what nobody say. I love Cute. And this ain't got nothing to do with YouTube. This is just us kicking it in the hood and over the phone. So that just supports my claim. Like, I'm down with Cutes, man. Cutes is a good brother, man. And he helps me basically with these live streams. He helps me a lot. And I said before, he gives me a lot of encouragement. And I'm old and all that shit, but I be needing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, my youngest daughter hit me today. Nigga, I was so elated. I was so happy. She was telling me that my grandson is saying words now, mama, daddy. That's about it. But she said he'd be trying to hold conversations with her. So she was like, he's my joy in my life. I said he should be. You're the joy of my life. But I got to sneeze, y'all. Hold on. Damn, excuse me. I hope I ain't no boogers or snot. Remember the homie said, Kev Mac, I'm a real homie. You got a booger on your nose. Only a real homie would tell you that. It wasn't even a booger, homie. Like, you just wanted to take a shot at me, nigga. But good looking out, man. So yeah, man, I'm kind of happy that I'm gonna get back to some of these stories. Since I see everybody else doing stories and some people doing others. And I just haven't been doing a lot of material, right? So feels good. Thank y'all for the blessing. Sir, you and your wife should join Mr. Kev Mac like on the Goob Show. Who was that? Kenneth Johnson, you talking about? 702? OGQs brings life to the history. Yes, he do. Absolutely. I'm going to tell y'all though, man. I'm so... Do y'all see me? Because Cutes just text me. I can't see me. Kev, can we get some more Roscoe stories? Yeah, absolutely. I recently had a childhood homie pass away, and your stories, Roscoe, remind me a lot of me and my uncle. Yeah. I actually was considering giving Roscoe his own category. So when y'all go and click on stories, fight stories, West Side, East Side, you have a Roscoe folder, and you can click on that and get all the Roscoe stories. That's what I was talking about the other day when I was talking about how me and S-Mac, we're so into timeline and shit. Like, I don't know if I should just jump into these Roscoe stories because they're going to be all out of line. So I was wondering if I should just start at the beginning when I met Roscoe, talk about that, talk about school years, talk about him going to YA and when I ran across him when he got out, talk about his pop locking days and shit. Then go to the prison stories and all that, the cars and all that. So I've been wondering, but I don't think I'm going to do it like that, but I do think that's the best way I should do it, though. But I just want to get some stories that y'all like. And y'all could go back later on and find out who Roscoe is to Kev Mac, if you don't already know, right? But I'm glad because a couple people hit me and said they did time with the homie. They knew him. Great dude. Same about my homeboy Peanut. So that's always encouraging when other people reach out to me and let me know that they got a lot of respect for my homies. I appreciate that because these are dudes I really rub shoulders with. Me and Roscoe done so much. Like, I was thinking about the term best friends. The cutes always use, right? And I got a few best friends too. I got a handful of best friends, right? But I always say Roscoe because we've done nobody on this earth has done as much with me as Roscoe had, or been through as much with me as Roscoe had. So that's why I always say Roscoe. But then you got S Mac, you got Little Crazy Boy, you got Peanut, you got I guess not too many more, right? I said a handful. How about 4? My mama was my real best friend, though. So when we start talking about real best friends, my mama without a doubt. But anyway, all right. So yeah, you could get some more Roscoe stories. The one in the morning is about Roscoe. Young Tiny, what up, homeboy? Jay Ship, okay. You talking about Golden State? All right. Where's Shaniqua at? I know she's loving that shit right now. Shaniqua's probably outside the locker room trying to figure out which one she gonna give some head to tonight. Shaniqua, where you at? Somebody do the hood whistle. Here comes Shaniqua. Let's see. KM Video Live Streams. How did you see Wilder's right hand this weekend, Kev? You ever hit anyone that hard? Well, I'm not going to ever think I hit as hard as Wilder, right? I probably don't swing as wild as Wilder, though. But then again, when you hear tomorrow's story, I'll probably swing as wild as Wilder, but definitely not as hard as Wilder. I've got some cool knockouts. I don't know if they was as hard as they was just cool swings and hitting them in the right spot. I'm not a power guy, man. Like, I'm not big and muscular. I'm not strong. I've never been a strong guy. Talked about when I played baseball. I was accurate with my arm, but my arm didn't have a lot of strength. I had great eye and hand coordination, but I wasn't hitting home runs. I wasn't a home run hitter. So, no, I didn't catch the Celtics Sixers game. I've been working on this video for y'all all damn day, man. From the barber seat to here, I've been working on this video all day. If I count the hours, let's see, 1, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30. I've been working 10 hours on this video, just the editing, man. But yeah, no, I didn't catch no games, man. I really don't even like the NBA like I like other sports. I like the NBA once it really gets cracking, holiday seasons, and then going toward the playoffs. But the beginning of basketball season, I never really cared for the beginning, especially if the Lakers ain't shit. I love the Astros. I'm not betting them all, no, but I love the Astros. I love the Astros to beat the Yankees. I talked about it all year, even though I said it would be the Yankees or the Astros. Yankees can't hang with the Astros. But what do I know? The Padres couldn't hang with the Dodgers, and they beat the Dodgers. So who knows? Maybe the Yankees beat the Astros. But I really, honestly, truly believe the Astros handle the Yankees pretty easily. That's what I believe. And Philly and San Diego, I'm a little salty. I'm a little salty right now, right? I'm pulling for Philadelphia, even though San Diego is repping California. And, you know, I like Manny Machado and I like Soto. But I love Tatis Jr., but he had nothing to do with this season. But I'm salty. And I love the way Philly's playing right now, and I love Bryce Harper. Kev Mac, did you jump off the porch? No, I fell off the porch. So, beginning of NBA season is taking the overs and cashing in the overs till after Christmas. That's a good idea. You know, I hit one time college basketball. I don't know what year it was, but you can look it up. When they changed the shot clock the last time in college basketball, I hit in the beginning of the season. I want to say day 1, day 2, day 3. I hit on all overs. I hit on all the overs, 10-team parlays. It wasn't that many years ago, though. What Jay Ship say? I like an Astro versus Philly World Series. That's an ugly ass World Series, but yeah, it would be cool. I'm with you on that, Jay Ship. It'd be ugly though. Houston, San Diego, 6 deuce East Coast versus the Hoovers. What about the Padres play the Yankees? You have a neighborhood World Series. Sir Uncle Buck, you back, nigga? My treat. Buy you some new glasses. Yeah, all right, good looking out, Buck. Shit. Why don't you send me your glasses, homie? I could use them shades you got on, homie. Just make sure you don't put that meth pipe in the package. Yeah, I believe that, Tony Snow. I believe you. JC, what up, man? Shout out to Florida. Padre look horrible with the bastard. I didn't even see the game tonight. It's Tuesday already. That's good, though. That's good. Philly's balling, man. That ain't no joke. And the boy Nola's hard too, man. No, I'm not going to go after Buck. Buck looked out for me tonight. I'm not going after Buck. Good looking out, Sir Uncle Buck. Insomnia in slow motion this way. Okay. I feel you on that shit. I'll sleep well at night, though. I've been waking up late for the last 2 months. I guess since I've been depressed, it's been hard for me to wake up in the morning. I'm usually up at 6 a.m., but man, I'm waking up at like 9:30 now. Every day. Crystal, anybody come at me with that BS? What you talking about, Brian? Did y'all check out the Goob show tonight? Goob had played chess on his show tonight, which is interesting. But I think when Goob plays chess, Goob needs to just concentrate on chess and not be trying to read comments while he plays chess. Kev, do you think Haney can beat? Yeah, I think Haney can win. I don't know what's up with this. Oh, it's a lot, Lady A. It's not for the public. Oh shit, Lakers got within 13. Within 13. Ooh, damn. Typical Lakers season, right? Keith Claus, man, long time no see, homie. Ain't seen you since I've been over the Locos channel, homeboy. Where you been, man? How you doing? The Goob. Okay, you was winning Goob. All right, shout out to the Goob. Shout out to the Goob. You know what I was thinking the whole time, right, Goob? Because I don't even know that dude, right? And you playing, and I hear you say his name. I'm like, oh, shit. Ain't that the dude to be going at it with Loco? So now I'm thinking, why the hell Goob got this dude on his show? Like, them dudes know Loco ain't gonna like that shit. I'm like, is y'all trying to piss Loco off or what? How did y'all become buddies and shit to be playing chess? I'm like, is this strategic or it just happens that way? I said, let me get the hell up out of here, man. I don't want to be a part of this shit here. Like, next thing I know, they gonna be talking about niggas' mamas and calling each other B words and all that. I said, man, let me get the hell up out of here. But Goob, chess is a good thing. I wish I could put a spade game on here or something, you know what I'm saying, to make it interesting. I've been saying that for a while, but not chess, man. I can't do the chess, bro. Kev, do you think Big U could have whooped Monster Cody in a squabble? I hate when people ask me that. You know, I get that question a lot. I haven't got it in a long time. But I hate that question because it would be speculation. And these are two dudes that are basically legends in their respective areas. And I don't even want to try to figure it out. But, you know, with all the hoopla, all the hatred and jealousy going on, I'll say this, man. Big U got a great reputation, man. I'm not talking about on social media. I'm not talking about his homeboys. I'm talking about really knock some big names out from different hoods, really put some dudes on their back from other hoods. So don't get it twisted, which I know you're not. That's why you're asking. Big U really got a good reputation, a good fight record in the street. Now, as far as Monster Cody, he's before my era. And I didn't run across Monster Cody in the streets of Penn. So I really couldn't tell you, I couldn't give you a good analysis of lining them two up on top of the speculation, right? So, yeah, that's that, man. And Big U's, I don't know if height has anything to do with anything. Because you got a lot of short guys like Tony Stacy, Lil Doctor, Cutes. You got some short dudes, man, whose hearts are bigger than a lot of big guys, right? So, and reputations. So no, I wouldn't throw the height into it. But reach-wise, yeah, Big U got the reach for sure. Especially with his legs, man. Y'all probably don't know. I know, I see y'all talking about Big U's in martial arts and shit. Y'all probably don't know, unless y'all remember that Crazo story. Big U practiced a lot of kicks. And Big U can kick, and Big U got some long legs, man. Real talk, man, real talk. Big U has long arms and them brick hands. Big U's strong, too. Nobody talks about Big U's strength. Big U's strong. Big U works out. No, he's not Verlis Swan. He's not Michael Christian. But Big U works out. He's strong. He's always worked out. Big U he's versatile. Westbrook, the only Lakers still fighting to win. Westbrook is always going to fight to win. The question is, can Westbrook put the ball in the hoop? That's the question. Number one up in here. What up, number one? Perlana, what up? I talked to your ex-husband today, Perlana. He's doing good, by the way. Kev, you remember Big Slip Rock's pops used to sell them barbecue pits, had 6 ass smell. Actually, I don't. Only thing I remember about Big Slip Rock's father, I think I mentioned this years ago. They had this big Cadillac. I want to say it was brown Cadillac. And on Sundays, the whole family would be packed up in that Cadillac. And that was kind of hilarious back then. But yeah. You got Slip Rock gang banging and cripping. I hear his brother wasn't that nice either. And they piled up with the family going to church, right? Right, Michael Hawkins? Because you got to remember, I didn't stay in the Avs. I didn't play the Avs a whole lot early on, so I don't really know all the homies' parents from back then. I remember them passing. So, yeah. Kev Mac video. I wonder what's wrong with my music, though, man.
Roscoe.
Oh, there you go.
Kev Mac. Best friends. Yeah. Lost my homie to cancer and he should be alive. We rep the hood together, got me here on teary-eyed. That was my brother, I can see his face up in the sky. Smiling at me cause he knows I'm gonna always ride. And in this memory, I'm doing good to make him proud. Reppin' neighborhood, them 60s and I say it loud. I'm in my 50s and I did my time up in the trenches. Dodging bullets in the rollers, homie, I was wild. And both of us highly respected in the neighborhood. And both our lives are reflected up in this little song. We hustlers, homie, getting gangsters, never showing love. I'm selling dope, we in the 80s, always packing guns. His name was Roscoe, when I met him, I was only 10. Roscoe was short, but let the fight would get it in. The bigger you are, harder you fall, homies knew. And Roscoe never ran for fights, would always win. And we would follow trend. Best friends, hanging on the block, getting plenty dope. Best friends, repping for the hood, wearing gold and blue. Best friends, hoods in the trenches, so we fighting foes. Best friends, now the homie gone, missing Roscoe. Best friends, hanging on the block, getting plenty dope. Best friends, repping for the hood, wearing gold and blue. Best friends, hoods in the trenches, so we fighting foes. Best friends, now the homie gone, missing Roscoe. Roscoe was also known as Mookie, used to tag balls, raising roller pigeons, always dressing clean, y'all. Used to pop like I had a heart of gold, and looked up to my brother, a real hood from the fold, My father loved him cause it's harder, he was well mannered. He used to buy my mother gifts like he was Black Santa. He paroled from YCS in 1988 with 20-year charge, pushing dope and was a jacket. At times he's living in the jungles of the Denver lanes, so dope on 65th and Hoover getting paid. I took him on a few robberies and burglaries, but had a crew of robbers with him that was certainly the best of the best. Local Bam and Peanut, baby feed, baby cow, big cow, bruh. Used to go to Stockton, Cali just to sell dope. Was robbing niggas for the birds, he was wild low. Could still see him in the burgundy rag top 5.0 black top goldies, And as I sit here drinking all my liquor, I can still hear his voice in my head. I'm at ease though, because I know he's in a better place with no pain. But Roscoe, we still miss you on the streets, bruh. You was my best friend, that would never change. And I still remember hanging on the block, getting paid with my best friends. Hanging on the block, getting plenty dope.
Yeah. Man, that's my partner, man. Yeah, so tomorrow's story involves Roscoe for real. Well, yeah, Wiggins, I always figured Wiggins would be good. And he's decent. I just always expect him to take it up to the next level. I like Wiggins, man. Klaus, you played against Darvin Ham. Somebody said you're my generation. That's what's up, man. That's King Real on that. Shout out to King Real, man. I wish me and King Real would have did some more music, but unfortunately, I get set in my ways and shit, and we all grown and got to do our own thing. He thought he was gonna retire, and he ended up staying in the Army a little longer. What the hell's going on with Uncle Buck? Kev smoked all my water. I visited him in Vegas. Buck, stop. Unless melted down crystal meth is water, nigga. You come on now. Come on, Buck. He said he dunked on me and pulled my headband down over my eyes. Well, that might be why he asked you if you played against Darvin Ham. He probably knew that already. Man, I'm gonna try to get. There's one more original East Side Crip. Original. When I mean original, I'm talking about when they formed. Not somebody that found out the next day or later that night. But there's one left that I haven't tried to interview, and I'm trying to get in touch with him right now. I hear he lives in Vegas. Man, if I could get this dude, man, this is going to be so epic. Because a couple other, I think it's 4 of them left. Them dudes ain't giving no interview. No, well, 3 of them not doing an interview. You still got the one dude I just talked to, and then the dude I want to talk to. Yeah, man. So I think it's 5 out of the first 10 that's still living. KP Video News, what up, homie? What's up, man? You got music coming from everywhere, dropping them. Yeah, these are actually old, man. I have some unreleased stuff too, though, because I was going to do one more album with King Real. So I got some unreleased stuff. I was actually thinking about getting at King Real, like, look, man, let me pay you for like 4 more songs, man. Let me pay your studio time. I need 4 more songs. I want to give it up to my homie Big Cal, rest in peace. And give him a couple more songs, man. Then I'll release another album. I'll release the 4th album, right? But yeah, KP, man, I still like your tunes, man. Of course, it ain't like no hip hop. Ain't nobody gonna play it in their car. But it's catchy and I like it, man. KP Video News, y'all. It's KP Video News, y'all. I like that shit, man. I like that. But good looking out, KP. Kev, did you know Lil Slip Rock played drums for church? I didn't know that. I did not know that, homie. No, I didn't know. But you know, me and Lil Slip Rock was into Hatcheby together, though, right? I don't know if you caught that story I told about Lil Slip Rock. It's in the Moody story. Have you seen the one that I talk about Moody and we playing football and I knocked the dude out, laid the yard down? Slip Rock's mentioned in that. In fact, he's mentioned in one of the songs too. Touch that like button, pimps. Actually, truthfully, I asked about AC. He said he don't remember that AC. Say couldn't have been one of the first Crips, but he also contributed that to his memory. He said when he was a lot younger, he knew everybody. He's a lot older now. He can't remember a lot of names. He has to see their faces. He needs to know more about them. But he said he don't remember that AC, the one that became a Pyru. He remembers AC on the west side. And he thought the AC on the west side that supposedly killed Buddha was the same AC that became a West Side Pyru. But it's not. It's not the same AC. Okay, KP, I got you, homie. Let me email you this link. God damn, how do I email you this link? All right, let's see. It's KP Video News, y'all. KP Video News, y'all. Give me 1 second while I send this link, you guys. I apologize. I see Cartoon on Melly Mel tonight. Did y'all check out Cartoon on the Hood Postman? All right, got you. LeBron dropped 31, though. Can't be mad at that, Laker fans. Can we now say East Side Baby Crips for the... I didn't ask. It's a couple questions I didn't get to ask him, man. I didn't get to ask about Crib or Crips. But he did say that AC Babalui was right. And Cutes has said this too, but I just don't know how far Cutes go back to the east side with the older guys. But he said AC was right. They did shave their heads. He said within 2 days, all the Crips had bald heads. They had cavalices. So that was true. That was true. Yeah, man. You know, my thing is, I mean, you know what, Jay Ship, though? I could get his memory back right. You know, there's been lots of people who me and S Mac talked to, and we toggle their memory, man. You know, if you don't talk about things over and over the years, you forget them. You forget people. But if you constantly over and over, if it's repetitive, then you'll remember the names, the stories, the incidents, and all that stuff. So I think once I keep talking to him, I'll get it all out of him. Especially if I get to the point where I could send him pictures of these different people. He'll tell me who they are, and he'll remember something. I'll get his memory going, bro. We've only been speaking for a week, man, so I'll get it going, trust me. Kev, did you ever rock the curl in your hair? I rocked the Jerry curl for maybe a year, and rocked the perm for probably less than a year. I didn't watch the Laker game, bro. I didn't watch no sports today. Man, I wish y'all would just understand this. I worked on a video all day today. Video that y'all will see in the morning. Wayne got a haircut and worked on a video. That's all I did today. And then I'm going live. I'm like, I've been on the computer all day. I might as well go live, right? Well, I've been showing pictures lately. I don't have no pictures together to show right now. Sinbad, I sent you the link. I don't know what's going on, man. Yeah, it looked like it's working to me, man. Click the link. S Mac get hella deep in the course. He do. We talk about it. Sometimes we laugh about it. He's just setting his ways, man, and that's how he is. He's very inquisitive and on point and exact, and that's why he asked some of the questions he asked. What's up, KP?
It's all good, my brother. It's all good.
That's right. Did you watch baseball today?
Man, you know, I threw a brick at my TV, man, because you know I was pulling for them Guardians, man, over the Yankees. But hey, it is what it is.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, I to be honest, man, I only saw the last few minutes of the game. I saw the last few minutes of the game, and that was it. Yeah, I screwed up, man. I got sidetracked today on some nonsense.
Right.
You know how it works. Every now and then, man, you get caught up in some bullshit.
Yeah. You know what though, Jay Ship got a question for me. So he got to ask, have I heard from Pookie Twin from the 90s? He will be an amazing guest on live. You know what? His twin is home. So either one of them would be good guests. But yeah, the Pookie twin we interviewed would definitely be a good guest. But the other twin is home. Evil twin is home now.
Yep. You still there? What happened?
Yeah. I'm
okay.
Still here, man.
Yeah, man. I want to comment on the bald head Crips back in the day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a feature, man, that early on when the Crips first started, that was the first thing we looked for, was bald heads. Cause it was you know, that was I don't know if it was mandatory or what, but early on, man, that was it, man. Bald heads and ace deuce little derbies.
I was just about to ask you about the ace deuce.
Yeah, the bald heads and the ace deuces, man. At first, just the bald heads, then the ace deuces, then the bald heads, ace deuces, the earrings, and the canes they used to carry, canes. Mm-hmm. Walking canes, and then the suspenders came along.
Okay.
So if you saw a Crip, you knew it was a Crip. I mean, you knew it. It was like a uniform, you know. That hat, man, it was that hat though. That hat was the thing that created the most problems. Because if you saw one hat it was like, okay. But if you saw one, you saw 30. And if you saw 30, you saw 50. So
I
it was all.
I gotta ask you a question, man.
Mm-hmm.
There's guys like you, Jimmy Lavender, Michael Jordan, and so many others that only ran with the gang for a few years. You guys became adults, went on and did better things with your life. How did you guys view the guys that you might see 10 years later and you like, man, this fool 27 or 28 years old and he's still with the gangbang?
That is a good question. And oh man, you know what? It's kind of a tricky answer, because the thing that upset me the most when I saw guys later on, this one guy in particular, I'm not going to mention his name and put him on Front Street like that, but he had a kid that, you know, I'm gonna fast forward, then I'm gonna go back. He had a kid, and I had kids too at the time, two, you know, boys also, and he was happy about the fact that his son was an OG. You know, he was an OG, you know, family member. You know, so it's like, okay, he didn't went. Now the next generation that came along. I'm talking about physical generation, not just like the next era. And I really had to check him on that, man. I'm like, come on, man, are you serious? I mean, he was all happy and shit. I'm like, come on, dude. I mean, I didn't move my career. I didn't move my kids all the way out to Palmdale to get them away from that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But some cats felt it was a badge of honor to continue that legacy. I mean, I don't have nothing against whatever you do. It's your life. But I felt he kind of rubbed me the wrong way that day, man. He was all happy about his son. And eventually his son ended up, you know, going on the run, man, running from the cops and all that shit, man, for years. But, all right, I'm going to go back. Those guys that kept doing what they was doing, I didn't have nothing against them. You know, I loved them. You know, these were my brothers, man. So the only thing I could say was, you know, one of these days they're going to come up out of it, you know. And I tried, man, to like say, hey, man, come go with me, man. I got something going on. You know, I got some cash coming in. Because when I left the situation, I never turned my back on them, but I was addicted to the streets, the street life. Gangbanging only opened the door up for other corrupt things that I was doing. The drugs, the pimping, and all the rest of that shit I was doing. So I was addicted to the streets, man. You know, from a very young age, I was addicted to the streets. But I understood why they was doing what they was doing. But I also understood that it was a trap that they were in, you know, and the only thing that could come out of it, man, was to get killed, go to jail, or, you know, hey, locked up some kind of way, man.
Okay, I got one more question. So let's say when you was low riding or whatever, you got into it with a guy over a girl and you caught a hot one, and or even an attempted murder, and you ended up in prison. Do you think you would have went back to the gang guys, or do you think you would have went the prison gang route? What do you think your prison stint would have been like?
I think without a doubt, I probably would have. While being in, I would be with my people. You know, I would be with whoever, you know, I was rolling with at the time. You see what I'm saying? That would be my thing. Once I got out, it would probably be like, hey, I would be trying to do something different, man. You know, I'll be trying to move on. But sometimes it's that environment, man. If you go back to your old neighborhood, it's real easy, man, to get caught back up, to get sucked right back up into the clique. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I saw guys do that. That had did time, and I seen people that cats that did time that got out and went in a totally different direction and never went back.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It happens all the time. But I'm going to tell you something else. And you've probably seen this before, but when you leave the hood, I don't care what you do. If you go to make money, go get married and start a family, or go on some type of corruption out of state. When things go bad, a lot of people come back home. And they don't come back home to do good.
That's true. That's true. You're right. You're right. And and thinking in those terms, I would say that I probably would have got caught back up into the same situation. Mm-hmm. But I so removed myself at a young enough age to understand. And I had older guys, you know, uncles, my stepfather, you know, my father, and, you know, older guys in the hood that, you know, in those days, man, they would slap shit out of your hand if they saw you doing something wrong. Mm-hmm. And that's what I think is missing today, because you don't have that village, man. You don't have those people there that are willing to say, hey, man, that shit is wrong. You know, you got cats that are going to the pen that went for the hood. And when they get out, they taking advantage of the young brothers on the street, because the young cats on the street look up to them saying, oh man, that's OG so-and-so. But OG so-and-so is just using them because he ain't got no other way of making no bread. Mm-hmm. He got young cats out here, instead of telling them, hey man, don't do that, he's telling them to go rob, but bring him back the money. Mm-hmm. Bring me back the money. And that right there is the worst bullshit, man, that I could ever, you know, that I ever encountered, man, was watching these cats. And I'm like, hey man, no, man, you can't get these young dudes caught up in no bullshit like this, because we ain't gonna never progress if, you know, we keep going in the same circle over and over and over and over again. I talked to somebody about that a few weeks ago. Matter of fact, I didn't know. I think it might have been Skip. I didn't know that they had a truce going on between the 60s and the family. I didn't know that. I don't know if it's still going on, or if it's binding or what. But that war went on for 50 fucking years, man. Ever since I was in this shit. Yeah. 50 years. Yeah. So you talk about generation after generation after generation of the same shit going on. But most of the cats, the most time you think it's the young cats, it's a lot of them old cats that come back to the hood that are perpetuating the same shit. Absolutely. They're the ones that's keeping the shit going, you know? And it's all because they fucking trifling. They just trifling, dude. They trifling.
Absolutely. But yep. I got a scenario to match up with yours. You said that's the worst bullshit that you heard. How about this one, though? A dude come home from doing a stretch. He might do 10 or 20 years. He might do 30 years. And the brother comes home, and the baller in the neighborhood puts a dope sack in his hand. How about that? Like, yeah, the persona is, I'm helping you out. Here you go, get some money, become a hustler. But the reality is, you're making the chances very high that he go back to prison.
Yeah, that's total bullshit too. Exactly. It is. I agree with that shit 100%. Yeah. Because if I'm bald and I'm in the hood and I know Kev Mac just got out, I'm gonna put some bread in your hand. If I got it like that, I'm gonna put some cash in your hand. But I'm not getting ready to hire you. I ain't finna give you no work. I'm finna put some cash in your hand. I might even hook you up, man, say, hey, man, I'll give you this little spot apartment or some shit. If you my homeboy, you see what I'm saying? Yeah. You my true road dog that I've been kicking it with. I've been knowing for, you know, you've been in for 20. I've been knowing your ass since we was in high school. I done came up. I'm going to keep you away from that shit. Mm-hmm. That's just how I roll with it. Mm-hmm. But a lot of cats will see that as taking an advantage on their part, because they say, yeah, I know this cat. He went to jail for 20. He didn't snitch on nobody. So that's somebody I could trust. Maybe you can, maybe you can't, but you ain't seen the nigga for 20 years.
Hey, Brian Harris, you're 1,000% correct. But here go, you know, I'm a weird type of guy. So here go my thing to you, Brian Harris. That's a cop out. That just don't work. Because if that's the case, the youngster don't have to accept the gun. A rider, you don't have to accept your put on. A snitch, you don't have to accept your put off. You know, we just keeping it the reality of it. How many brothers do all that time, come home with no money, is going to turn down the sack? See, this is what most dudes do. This is what all the dudes with no hustle do. They'll come home, you give them a sack, they turn around and sell the sack for cheaper, you know, wholesale, just because they want the money and they don't know how to hustle and they don't want to be a dope dealer. But then you got some that come home and is hustlers, so they see that sack and they thinking, oh, I could take this 1,600 and get 3,200. Flip the 3,200 and I'm in the game. Once I get to 9 ounces, I could get to a bird. And now he's thinking about his girl, his kids, a car, the jury, making up for old times.
Right.
So it's easy to say you don't have to accept a sack. We don't have to accept nothing. We don't have to accept the bully or the homeboys that want us to be part of it again. We don't have to accept nothing. You don't have to accept anything, but we do, because that's just the reality of the world.
Right. You accept it, man, because that's the opportunity that you presented with. And that's what we as Black people don't have, is opportunities. A lot of time in the hood. I mean, I don't know if you remember, when was you born?
68.
You know, 68. Okay. Yeah, I came to LA from Chicago, and this is the way it was in Chicago. When I came to LA, it was a lot of people, man, a lot of Black people that had businesses, man, from Central all the way over to La Brea. Black people had businesses, man. So people could give you a legitimate job. My friend father used to own a gas station that was on Normandy and Manchester. On the corner, it was a Chevron gas station there. Shit, Freddie's daddy owned that gas station, man, for years. And he finally sold it. And but now you go through the hood, you got Arabs, you got Vietnamese, you got Koreans, you got Mexicans, you got all these people, man, that got businesses in the hood. You know, it's a few Black businesses, but they sucking all the money, man, out the hood. And the opportunities just don't exist like they used to. Mm-hmm. You used to be able to get a job. When I was in high school, straight out of high school, you could get a good job straight out of high school with just a diploma. That shit is over. Mm-hmm. You know, you got to go to college, man. And, you know, a lot of cats ain't going to school. So I saw this kid, I was talking to this kid, and he said, hey, man, you got people interviewing, calling him stupid, man, because he going to school. Like, man, you know what? Those motherfuckers standing on the corner, they the dumb motherfuckers. You trying to do what you got to do to survive and make it in the future. Stay in school, do what you're doing. The hell with what they think or what they say. Because, you know, that's I think we Black people as a whole, we are our biggest enemy.
Of course. And it's a double-edged sword. If we talk about that, then people mad at us and call us sellouts and all that. And if we don't talk about it, we're doing a disservice to the people that's not aware or need to hear it. Yeah.
They need to hear it, man. But you know, what I'm hearing now a lot lately is like, yeah, man, them cats like LeBron and them got all that money, man, and they ain't opening no businesses up in the hood. Okay, that is true. However, I had a lot of love for Chris Paul when he was over there with the Clippers, when he did, you know, open that, you know, that youth center up in Watts. I had a lot of love for that. I'm like, here you got a cat that ain't even from LA that made it and you know, got a little something. He did a little something for the hood. All these guys got all this money. It's like, okay, I'm throwing out turkeys on Thanksgiving. Okay, I'm giving the kids some toys on Christmas. But damn, what about the other, you know, 363 years 363 days left in the year. You talking about 2 days that you trying to do something. The guy was the guy's name. The guy that played in the movie, the TV series, The Wire. He played Bump, the cop named they used to call Bump, the black cop. He opened up a supermarket, and then he opened up a chain of supermarkets in the hood. All his supermarkets are in the hood, cross country. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. You know, you think Mexicans went from selling oranges on the street to owning supermarkets everywhere just by selling oranges?
No.
Hell no. You don't go from selling oranges one day, all of a sudden supermarkets start popping up. The United States government looks the other way when certain nationalities do things. When brothers had all that money, like Rick, Freeway Rick and all them had all that money, they couldn't even open no shit up like that. Because they would have shut it down immediately, because they would have been giving their own people jobs. You know, I know that money, all that money that they used to open those Mexican supermarkets up ain't good money. It's dirty money. The government knows it. The Italians did it. The Jews did it. All the old gangsters back in the day did it. They moved up and they started getting legitimate businesses started. But when black people try to do something on that level, they're going to shut that shit down quick. Real quick.
What do you think about Ice Cube saying, don't throw his name in the Kanye anti-Semitic mess?
Hey, I'm with him on any kind of mess. Don't, you know, he should have said something about don't throw me in that black mess too. Because the crap, you know, Kanye throwing all that crap about black people out there. I could care less what he's saying about the Jewish people over there. What about you lost your black card, brother. He lost his black card a long time ago. And so all the chicks out there that's talking about Kanye, if you a sister, he don't want you. He done already proved that, dealing with Amber Rose, dealing with Kim Kardashian and all the rest of the white girls he's been chasing behind. He walked away from black a long time ago. He just wants your black dollars. He wants you to buy his shoes and buy his records. Wow. But he not representing the people. But Ice Cube is like, you know, hey, that's a smart move, man. If you're trying to say, no, I don't want to be associated with that. But Kanye brought his name up.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't really sat down and really thought it over, but I know Cube has mentioned Jews in a couple of his songs. I also know he did that song, Burn Hollywood Burn. We kind of know who that was directed at. And then the Muslims went in on Cube about 7 years ago. You know, Cube trying to be down with the Muslims, and I forgot his name. I want to say Muhammad, one of the Muhammads. I'm not sure.
Wallace Muhammad.
Yeah. And he was like, man, you ain't down with me. You ain't down with us. Like when somebody trying to kill me or don't want to give me a job or nothing, where you at? You ain't there. You on the sidewalk somewhere melting.
Yeah.
And so but we always find a way to go at each other, man. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like
that's fucking true, man.
Kanye or Cube, we just take the focus off whatever the real focus is and go at one another, man. That's just
right. Kanye West is a distraction. That's what he is. And you notice that he gets loud right around election time is when he get the loudest, because he's on the white man's payroll. He did the same thing before Trump got elected. He got running out there talking about, I'm going to run for office and do all this stuff. That's a diversion to get any black people that are dumb enough to buy into his madness to either not vote or vote for somebody that he likes. You got fans that are so dedicated to him that if he comes out in the next couple of weeks and say, well, vote for this white guy over here, he's okay. Those narrow-minded people that like Kanye that much will actually go out and do it.
Of course.
So he's a distraction and a real threat to losing a few votes. they only cut ties with him back in that old Trump era when Trump was running, when they realized that their little garbage wasn't working on the level that they thought they wanted it to work.
Right.
You know, he wasn't ciphering enough black votes away from the Democrats to help Trump win the election. It didn't work. So, you know, him, you know, and it's mighty mysterious that a couple of days later, after Kanye made his statement about Jews, Trump came out and made a statement about Jews. So, yeah, they working together, man. Trump is a double agent, man. You got to watch it. I mean, Kanye is a double agent, man. He's a transformer. He's a transformer.
He got that money, man. He don't care what nobody talking about. That's why he talking trash about those people with a lot of money. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Kanye got a lot of paper. And he changed his name, so we supposed to be saying Ye.
Yeah, well, you can call him what you want to call him. I call him a dummy because my cats in Chicago told me, don't tell nobody that nigga's from our neighborhood. Because they hated him. They tried to kill him. That's why his face is all puffed up like that. They shot that nigga 9 times, man. They tried to kill him because he was a snitch back in the day. I know the story. So, yeah.
I never heard that story.
Exactly. That's why his face is all swollen up like a chipmunk, man. They tried to kill him. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, man. I want to talk about something else, man, right quick. Cutes was talking about some cats back in the day that I knew of that were infamous, man, back in the streets, on the streets. Number one was one guy, and damn it, what was the other cat's name? Buck. Buck was another cat. Number one, he had a what was that? I believe it was a 63, might have been a 63 Chevy. A blue 63 Chevy with the number 1 on the side, on the door, on the driver's door and on the passenger door that he used to ride around in. And so when I thought about, you know, it didn't have no Kragers on it or nothing. It was, you know, or no wheels on it. It was just a car. It was just a bucket. But what I thought about back in the day, when it was a handful of gangbangers that had cars that were lowriders or what like that. But for the most part, most cats that was low riding was neutral. They wasn't off into nothing. You know, they wasn't off into that. I talked about Karate Man. Karate Man, he had a 67 lowrider. And to be a gangbanger and to have a lowrider basically was like the cops were riding down the street in that black and white. You had a target. Your car was a target. You know, if I saw that orange 67 coming down the street and I was a shooter, I was going to shoot at it because I knew it was Karate Man. You see what I'm saying? Number one, he had the same thing. That's what I was kept asking Cutes about, that old bucket that him and Rusty used to ride around in. There was an old blue Dodge or Plymouth, like a 50s model with some Supremes on it. And I would see them cats riding down the street, man, them big old brims on, sitting low in the seat. Big bucket coming down the street, big bomb coming down the street. And the car was blue. And I didn't want to shoot them. I wanted to shoot that damn car. It was the car, you know what I'm saying? The car was a threat.
Have you ran across him out here?
Who was that?
Number one.
Number one, I haven't. No, I haven't ran into him. And the last thing I heard, I think they said Buck was in Texas or something. But Buck was dangerous. He was dangerous. He was really dangerous, man. When you saw Buck, your best bet was to run.
Hey, somebody said they think you mixing 50 Cent up with Kanye.
Oh, shit. Yeah, well, Kanye, 50 Cent, what's the difference? You know, Kanye, you see 50 Cent, he get mad. He mad at everybody. You know, he talk about everybody, black, white, it don't matter to him, shit.
Yeah, I think you was thinking of 50 though.
On what? On what tip?
Getting shot 9 times and being a snitch.
No, Kanye got shot, brother. I know this for a fact.
Oh, okay.
That's why his face is all swole up like that. His jaws and shit all swole up. They shot him in the face, man.
Okay. I never
Yeah,
heard
he from my old neighborhood. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because I just never heard that story.
Yeah. Yeah. He got shot.
Yeah. Okay.
Trust me. I wish I could bring somebody on here that could collaborate that story.
Yeah, find them and bring them on. Find them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like to hear about it.
Yeah. 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 I know about 50 getting shot. Yeah. I know about that, you know. Yeah. But hey, man, it's a lot of cats that have been that way, man. They have gotten shot and survived.
Yeah, of course. I just don't know Kanye being a thug. Well,
I didn't say he was a thug. I said he was a snitch.
Yeah, but I mean, associated getting shot up and even snitching, because snitching is really reserved for people in the underworld, for gang members, Italian mafia, shit like that.
Yeah, but see, them guys
go all the time, and we don't care.
But black people snitch on each other all the time.
That's what
that ain't nothing new. That ain't nothing new. You know, we don't have to be involved in some shit to snitch, to tell.
I don't know, KP. I think you need to just take that back and say you made a mistake.
Nah, brother, it ain't a mistake. It's not a mistake. Okay. It's not a mistake. I would not say that shit if it wasn't true. I wouldn't say it.
I'm just trying to save your credibility. That's all.
Hey, you can. Hey, I don't care about my credibility.
I do
on that level. Oh, okay. Yeah,
but
well,
if it's true, then you just open a lot of people's eyes, man, and your credibility is going to be over the top.
Being from the South Side, man, I know, man. I'm telling you. Look at my shirt, man. Look at my shirt.
I see it.
South Side.
I see it.
I'm always going to represent Chicago.
After you find out that's misinformation, you might want to put a 13 up under that South Side.
But yeah, man. Yeah. I wouldn't say that if it wasn't true, man. I really wouldn't. I don't need no publicity. I don't need it. I mean, what would be the point?
No. Ain't nobody saying nothing about that. Actually, they saying Kanye is the clout chaser. But just like I said, dude just said you just mixing it up with 50.
Well, I see a comment on here. Somebody says Kanye made something about a car accident. But hell, what else would a snitch do but tell a lie about what he did?
Hey,
he ain't gonna tell the truth.
Right. Hey,
shit,
so
come on, man.
So your shirt, right? Was you ever a White Sox fan?
Yeah, man. I was a Sox fan. I lived on the South Side. My uncle had a body shop around the corner from White Sox, the old Comiskey Park.
Yeah, Comiskey Park.
Yeah.
It was the good old days, man.
Yeah. Then he had a shop on 22nd in Michigan. Then he moved over there by the stadium. Mm-hmm. But it's all condos over there by where his original shop was on 22nd. It's nothing but condos over there. Gentrification going on. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I'm gonna go back to Buck. Buck, wow, man, Buck was dangerous, man. He was a dangerous cat. If you saw him coming, you had to get the hell out the way, cause he, it was just like that, man. He was a known shooter. It's like, I don't fuck with him. Some cats you could say, all right, I can box with this motherfucker, but you can't box with somebody that's just pulling on you, just pulling the strap on you. But yeah, them days, gangbanging was a lot, that was a rarity. It was a rarity for somebody to just actually pull out a gun and shoot in those early days, because we was fighters and boxers and, and stuff on that level. I don't remember anybody really getting cut. So it's almost like we went straight from boxing straight to shooting. Yeah, which is really sad, man, because the door got opened up that way and it never went back. Mm-hmm. It never went back, man. No. Wow, man, we lost so many people, man. So many young brothers have lost their lives. We started losing people, man, when I was in high school, and I was there from the 71 all the way to 75. It was several.
Was Douglas Green the first guy that got killed?
Douglas Green was. he was the first one to get killed with violence on that level. No, Doug. Let's see. No, he wasn't the first. That the guy with the leather coat, Baloo, Robert Baloo.
No, I'm talking about from your neighborhood.
Oh yeah, from our neighborhood. Yeah, without a doubt. But you know, Baloo, some of his people, man, actually moved to Inglewood. And I played music with his brothers, Barrick and this other cat named Wayne and Pook. Well, Barrick was a bass player. His brother, Wayne was a drummer. And they was, you know, but I don't know if they were stepbrothers or what, but they were in it. They lived in Inglewood. And they were rough, you know, when you got a house full of boys, they roughhousing, man. They fighting and boxing all the time. So the cats knew how to box, knew how to fight. And that was that situation that happened with Baloo, because he knew how to fight. And that was what happened, man. He was one of them cats that was willing to fight. And that situation escalated, man, to something else.
Brian Harris wants to know if you was in Chicago during Jeff Fort's days.
Without a doubt. Yeah. I got relatives that were some of Jeff Fort's people. I had relatives on both sides, disciples and Blackstone Rangers, high ups. So my cousin David, that lived in the Ida B. Wells projects on the south side, that motherfucker was hanging out with Jeff Fort when he was like 13 years old. He didn't become one of the main 21s, but he was up there when my uncle passed away at the funeral. All them Blackstone Rangers came up in the funeral, and the old ladies, my aunts and all of them, they were like, "Get these niggas out of here." And they was wearing them berets back in the day. This was early on. They used to wear these red berets. And so, David, he did like Malcolm X did, man. He pointed to the door, and them niggas filed out. From that day on, I was afraid of his ass. Cause he had that much power.
Too much power, right.
Yeah, he had that much power. But I was happy that he was my cousin. But at the same time, I was literally afraid of him, along with my other cousin, Donald, that was an original black gangster before they hooked up with the disciples. And that's who Larry Hoover and them was, over there. They was black gangsters. And so that's what I was calling myself claiming when I was a kid before I left Chicago. And mom's, that's why she moved to LA to get me out of the bullshit. But she didn't really realize she just threw me right into the fire. Because the gang shit was just getting started in LA when we got there. As far as the Crips and all that, was just getting started. So, I mean, you already had the old gangs, that I hear about from history. My friend's brother, he was a old gladiator from back in the day. He used to tell me about all that stuff about Barry White being part of the businessman or one of their leaders or something, and all them stories from back in the day. So yeah, it was gangs, but when the Crip thing came along, it just exploded so fast. God, it's so fast, man. It was unbelievable, man. It was unbelievable. It was just like, you got one Crip today, and then next week, man, you got 50. And next week you got 100. Next week you got 200.
Crips,
like, what the hell?
God, we multiply.
Man, you guys multiplying like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
So, but then that created a lot of other resistance gangs start popping up.
Yeah, then the blood start multiplying.
Right. But they, like I said, that first group, they wasn't considered Bloods. They was just, the Brims was like the biggest that I knew of at first. I never had anything to do with the Stones, didn't know anything about them till later. I knew about the Pyrus. So the Chain Gang, we hooked up with, the Denver Lanes, Pyrus, and the Athens Park Boys. Why we didn't hook up with the Van Ness Boys, I don't know. Why? Because they were the closest to us. Geographically, they was the closest to us. Well, we didn't link up with them Now I had to talk with some of them cats that was closer to Florence and ask them and see what they was doing with them. But the guys that I was with that was on, from Century on back to Imperial, we wasn't linked up with them. We was more or less linked up with the Denver Lanes and the Athens Park Boys. Yeah. Park Boys, man, was then we had a few guys that actually came to Morningside. You got to think about it. Morningside was a good school, and people wanted to send their kids there from all over from LA, trying to get them out of the LA school. So they started using other people's addresses that they knew in Inglewood, and they were sending their kids there, including a handful of Crips that ended up coming to Morningside that didn't live in Inglewood.
Right.
So it was like, okay, man. So when the situation was going on with us, man, we was getting good at fighting because, damn it, we fighting everybody. We fighting white boys in the daytime and we fighting Crips at night. So the chain gang, we got good at fighting. It's like, okay, we fighting every day. I hate the movie with the Wood. I hate that shit with a passion.
Wow.
I hate that fucking movie.
Wow.
Because it portrayed Inglewood as being soft. And that was bullshit. That was some bullshit right there. I hated that fucking movie, man. And somebody was saying, oh, well, that was his interpretation. I said, where was Inglewood that soft? It was no part of Inglewood that was that soft. Maybe over by Inglewood High School, but over there by Morningside, all the over there by the bottom and all that shit over there, hell no, that shit was never that soft. Never. Only thing that was good, legit about that movie was that brother that was banging, the girl's brother that was banging, and that 64 he rolled in, because we had a lot of 64 Chevys in Inglewood. We had the 64 Chevy Club at Morningside. When I looked at Boys in the Hood, when they saw boy driving that Volkswagen, that was the car that the Denver Lanes rode in. They come down the street, it would be so many of them you couldn't see the next road coming.
What year was you born?
I was born in 57. Yeah.
Did you run across my homie Big Rick back then?
No, I didn't. Never did. Okay. Yeah. I only started hearing about him when I started watching the videos that you was doing when you was talking about him and his little brother.
Oh, okay.
Never ran into him. I wasn't venturing down that way. Even when I went to Crenshaw for summer school, I wasn't getting into no shit. I had that cool summer, man, at Crenshaw.
Well, the reason why I asked, based on your age, even though you're a year older, they did a lot of business, a lot of hanging out in Inglewood, over there where the Raymonds were born.
Okay, all right.
That's why I asked, because you got to go through Inglewood and
right,
in Inglewood all those years. That's why.
Right. Well, the Raymonds, from what I could see at this point, those guys were like we're around like 102nd Street.
Yeah. Okay.
Those were just 102nd Street Crips. There was a guy, what was his name? Kirk Murphy, that stayed on 102nd and Doty on a corner house. And he didn't go to school at Morningside, but his younger brother, Ronnie Murphy, went to Morningside, and his little sister, Sybil, went to Morningside. The Kirk was the one. He was the shot caller. He was the one that started a lot of shit. But like I said, he wasn't going to school. And if he did go to school, he probably went to Washington or one of those other schools in LA. But then they started claiming around 70, they started claiming Cute 102, calling themselves Cute 102 Crips, when the Cute 102 Crips that I knew about was from the East Side. It was on the East Side. It wasn't, but I don't know when they started calling themselves Raymonds. I couldn't tell you because they wasn't calling themselves
late 70s.
Yeah, they wasn't calling themselves that when I was out there.
Right.
I got that shit. My daughter was born on 102nd Street. I used to be on 102nd Street all the time. Never had no problems. Never had no problem. No, I didn't. Okay. I didn't know him.
How about
that's didn't know him. Okay. Didn't know him, dude. I was how can I say this? When you from the age when I started dealing with what I was doing from the 9th grade all the way up until the middle of the 11th, early part of the 11th grade when I got my driver's license. You know, when I got my license, you know, I kind of walked away, was steadily walking away little by little. But, you know, the guys that we were focused on were the guys that was an immediate threat.
Right.
And that was Tookie, Michael Conception, Cody Brown. His name is Curtis Brown. He's called, I don't know when they started calling him Cody because we didn't call him that. We didn't give two shits about Michael Christian or Kenny Robinson and them because they were Inglewood Crips, and we had them outnumbered. We had them outnumbered, so they wasn't starting nothing. They wasn't doing nothing in our neighborhood. So if they did something, whatever they was doing outside of the hood, you know, hey, that's what they was doing, but they wasn't doing nothing in Inglewood until Tookie and all the rest of them cats came around. When Tookie and all the West Side Crips came from Washington and they linked up together with them, then that was a different story. All the time we was at school, we never had no fights at school between the Chain Gang and the Crips. It wasn't never no fights, not like that.
What about Mike Conception?
Mike Conception was wow, he was a handful. I was dating this chick, man. What was this chick's name? I think was that Sabrina? Anyway, it was a chick that I knew, and she had a sister. And I'm at her crib, man, and Mike Conception came over there, and he was, you know, all in the mirror, man, flexing, and you know, who is this dude? You know, it's like when you're dealing with gangbanging stuff, the city is too big for you to know everybody. And at that time it was all new. And so it was a lot of faces that I didn't know, that I hadn't seen. Just like my boy, Paul Harris, his mother worked at, she worked in the front office at WLCAC over in Watts. So he got a chance to see firsthand Mac Thomas and all these other cats that was on the east side over by Watts. Because his mother used to get all these guys jobs back in the 70s, in the early 70s. So he had exposure. I didn't know who Raymond Washington was when he came to Morningside and I was talking to him that day. I didn't even know who the fuck he was. And if I would have known who he was, that situation would have been something totally different. You see what I'm saying? So not knowing who people are, but Tookie, my Conception in them, they were active and busy. So you knew who they were. You knew who they were. I knew who Blackie was. I knew who Tookie was. I got a chance. Okay.
Stop you. Did you guys view Blackie as a killer, fighter, or what? How did y'all view Blackie?
I view Blackie as a nemesis because I had in several fights with Blackie. He was dangerous. He was fucking dangerous, man. He was one of the cats that would get into some shit, start some shit if he had a bunch of cats with him. You know what I'm saying? If he was by himself, it would be like a totally different story. But I don't know, man. He like I said, I got into that situation with him over this chick that went to Henry Clay that I was dating, man. This chick named Ramona, man. And he pinched on the ass, man, at a party. And so from there on, man, every time I saw him, it was like boom. And then when he saw me, it was like, it was on sight. You know what I'm saying? We never pulled. Only weapons that got pulled out was when I smacked his ass with that axe handle down at Imperial, at Jack in the Box on Imperial and Western. Caught him slipping, but he got me back when they stole my car, when they jacked me for my 6'4", man. Oh, I was fooling around, fucking way in the wrong neighborhood, Yeah, but yeah, he was a trip.
No, King Zo, Blackie's not living no more, man. Blackie's
dead.
And died.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. I didn't know he was Canadian, man, till like what, about a year, about 2 years ago.
Tell me
I
you
had,
learned
I
that
had,
from here.
I learned it from you, bro. Learned it from Kev Mac videos. Yeah. Learned it from Kev Mac videos for sure. You know.
Man, we be doing our research, man. We be digging in.
Yeah.
S-Mac is real good.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you freeze? Like you might have froze.
Yeah. I
Oh,
think my
okay.
Wi-Fi is tripping.
Yeah, you back on. I see you.
Okay.
I hear you now. You moving.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm gonna say this, Kel. It's
Mm.
different degrees of gangbanging, and you didn't heard the stories before. But it's one degree of gangbanging nobody never talks about, and that's the motherfucking psychopath.
Mm.
It's some psychopath, murdering, killer gangbangers out there, dude.
Yeah, it is.
I'm talking about serious.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers might as well be considered serial killers with the shit they do. And you know, it was a few on my side, there was a few on your side back in them days, you know.
Of course.
I know them. I know them by name, but I can't mention their names.
I know one for sure. I think I know 3 or 4.
Exactly.
On your side.
Exactly. So it was some psychopath.
I'm gonna tell you something, bro. JB sent me his C file, bro. He sent me his psychiatric report.
Mm-hmm.
And I kick myself in the ass all the time that I didn't put that in a safe place.
Okay.
I would love to read it, man. That dude, if y'all don't know what JB is Jan Brewer from Inglewood family. Man, that dude got a crazy, crazy history, bro.
That dude, when I first got to Inglewood, he was in camp. And I was like, I was in the 8th grade then, got there in 1970, the November, the end of 1970. He was in camp then. And I don't think he got out until that summer of 71. So, yeah, he been going back and forth. Juvenile hall, you know, camp and all that. Hilton Booker was another one that was constantly going back and forth. Yeah.
HB done gone crazy, man.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you know already. Okay.
Yeah. But see, Hilton Booker was the one that introduced me to Mouse, introduced me to Cutes.
Yeah.
Who else did he introduce me to?
He said he was a Magnificent 7.
Yeah. He introduced me to all them cats. And I had to catch myself, man, because see, they was trying to recruit me at one point, but it was too late. I was out the shit. I was out of the shit.
Oh wow.
I was out of the shit, man. I'm like, no, man, I ain't how can I switch doing what I've been doing all these years to come over and be with y'all niggas? That shit ain't finna happen. But that didn't stop him from trying. You know, honest story, man. I had Tookie invite me to the gym to come work out. He said, I was working at Union 76 gas station on Century and Crenshaw. Tookie was rolling in that Lincoln. He had a gold Lincoln, man. Krager's on it and hydraulics in the front. And he pulls up to get some gas. So I come out, I got my, the t-shirt on and shit, man. I got my arms all out, white beater, get his gas and shit. We on the conversation, man. This was after he had jacked me for my ride. I don't know if he still remembered me or what. Anyway, he was like, hey, man, you got some good cuts, man. You need to come down to Babe's gym on 101st and Vermont or some shit. Come on down to the gym, man. I think you probably bulk up. I can get you twice your size, what you size now, man. Come on down to the gym. I'm like, yeah, I wasn't going down there. I wasn't going to, I had been lifting weights since I was 10 years old, man. So when I started taking karate lessons, I wasn't no muscle bound super Hulk motherfucker. It wasn't like that. But they said, yeah, man, you got some good cuts, man. Come on down to the gym. And that was one of the conversations I had with him. Years later, when I was dealing with that water real tough, and he knew it. He knew I had that water, man. I went to a party at the Airport Park Hotel that used to be across the street from the farm. And I'm standing outside, and I, you know, before I'm trying to sell some scenes, I got some scenes I'm trying to sell, some lovely. So I see Laris Price, which was one of the original Inglewood Crips that got killed by the LAPD. So I see Laris, and we sitting there talking. I'm trying to get this sale, and Tookie walked up and said, "Hey man, get away from Cuz, that nigga the devil." Get away from Cuz. So Laris, he went inside with Tookie, and then he came back out. He doubled back and came back out, man, so he can buy some of that dust, that scene, lovely I had. Get away from Cuz. That shit was funny, man.
Hey, I always get a kick out of when you talk about them old days. You always laugh like you missed them days, man.
I don't miss those days, man. I laugh because I was able to maneuver through those landmines better than most.
Yeah.
To be honest, I made it to know the upper echelon of the Crips through dealing with Hilton Booker and dealing with the chick that I was dealing with, you know, with Barbara Armour, that was a high ranking Criplet. That was my girlfriend after I had walked away from gangbanging.
What school did she go to? What high school?
She went to Washington.
Okay, Washington. Washington
was Crip headquarters. She had 4 sisters, and between her and her 4 sisters, they had 1,000 friends. And there was some fine doggone Criplets, man. It was some fine ones, man. Them motherfuckers was fucking gorgeous. And I tried my best to hit as many of them as I could. But she kept Tookie and them from stomping me, man. You know, and I can't remember where I was one time. Well, I was with her, and all of a sudden, Jamel and Tookie came up. I know where I was. I was at Centinela Park. We was having a picnic. Well, I'm with Barbara and her sisters and all these girls, and there was a couple of guys there. But the first thing I see coming up, Tookie and Jamel, man, getting out of that Lincoln. I'm sitting on this blanket. And I'm like, oh shit. You know, I'm saying this in my head. I'm like, oh shit, there come Tookie and Jamel. So then from the parking lot that was to the right, it was another back parking lot. Some more Crips started coming from that way. Then some started coming from the west side, walking up on the sidewalk. I'm like, oh shit. So when Jamel got there, Jamel looked at me, man, dead in the eye. He said, if it ain't Crip, I don't know what it is. And Barbara's, she said, you know, be nice. And the motherfuckers, ain't nobody did nothing. Nobody did nothing to me. Now I'm shivering in my fucking boots, man. So Cutes and Rusty show up. Cutes, I don't know if you probably remember this, but Cutes and Rusty show up, and they go and they get on the monkey bars. One on one side, Cutes on the other side, and they doing these back arm, like some kind of back arm push-ups or whatever. This thing is up in the air, so they arm so they can kind of like go dip. They was doing some dips on these thing that was at Centinela Park. They both got their shirts off and they kind of competing against each other, trying to see who can do the most. And they pumping up. I'm sitting on this blanket, man. I'm like, damn. And that day, I was like, oh shit, man. So I you know, the other time I was with her was when they had a party at the Airport Park Hotel, and all the Magnificent Seven came in. I got the fuck out of there that day. I got my ass out of there. But it was like, yeah. You know, when you start feeling a little bit shit in your stomach, man, it's like it's time to go. You know, some cats don't know when to run. I know when to fold, know when to hold them, and know when to fold them.
Yeah.
Last
2 questions. Have you ever seen Cutes or Tookie have a fight?
Outside of Tookie's choking my ass, no. I never saw him fight. Never saw him fight. No, never did. Never saw Cutes fight.
That's all.
Never saw him fight. I mean, I want to come on here one day. It's a couple of questions I want to ask him, but I don't want to ask him without him being able to answer.
Okay, I'll set it up. I'll set it up, no problem.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cute's, you know, Mouse, their brother Mouse. And Mouse introduced me to somebody else. And I can't remember if he said that was their brother, little brother, or cousin, but he was brown skinned too. I don't know how many brothers, how many of them it was. I don't know if it was 3 or if it was that 4th guy. But anyway, I saw him over. There's another person I met a lot of Crips through. That was Keith Iverson. There was an Inglewood Crip, undercover Inglewood Crip.
Undercover.
Because he never claimed Crip. He never claimed Crip while we was at school. Never did. But he knew them. He knew all of them. I met Erskine. I met O'Neill, Lightbulb, and a couple of other cats through him. But the only reason I knew him on that level was because his cousin, Michael Bridges, that lived in Pasadena, had a 66 Monza, and he was the mascot for my 64 Chevy Club. So me and him was real tight. So he's like, come go with me, man. I'm going to my cousin's house. And that day I didn't even know that Keith Iverson was his cousin. So I met him, and then Mouse came by there, and he had another cat that was with him that was a shorter brother. And he said, yeah, man, that's my little brother, man, Turkey. I'm like, hey, man, what's up, Turkey? I ain't no Turkey, motherfucker. So I'm like, okay, brother. He was a little shorty, I guess, like maybe in junior high school or something. So he got all up in my face. I ain't no Turkey. I'm like, hey, all right, bro. I want to ask Cutes, did he have another younger brother that was kind of brown skinned like Mike, like Mike, well, his name is Michael, but like Mouse.
Cute's youngest brother got killed, and he was too young to be around y'all.
Yeah. But if he was brown skinned and had an afro before that shit happened, I believe I met him through Mouse. That's what I'm saying. And I can't remember what he said his name was, Wayman or something like that. I can't remember his name. And he introduced me to him over at Keith Iverson's house one day. He stayed on 5th Avenue off of Century.
No, he wouldn't know Rockhead, bro, because Rockhead was in Compton, and Rockhead went to jail as a kid. KP was grown and out of Inglewood. Yeah. Somebody had a question, but I done lost the damn question, man.
Yeah. Man, I'm telling you, man, it was kind of
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Ron Wallace want to know, was you at the Proud Bird when Jan Brewer put hands on Blackie?
I was there, and that same night he carjacked Raymond Washington for his Skylark.
What?
Yep.
Damn.
That shit blew up that night, man. The Proud Bird blew up because everybody was up in that motherfucker.
Man.
There was Pyrus there, it was Park Boys there, it was Crips there, everybody was there at that night. That shit fucking blew up. It fucking blew up.
What year was that?
Man, it was in the 70s, damn it. I can't think of God. Let's see. Was I still in high school at the time? I was still in high school at the time. I graduated in 75. It was before 75. It might have been after. I don't know. I can't remember. I can't pinpoint it. Because I know that night I had a vial. I had my Superfly coat on. I remember that. I got a good memory. I had my Superfly coat on, shit, hair all permed up, and I had this bottle that had some cocaine in it. And I saw my boy Paul Harris. I said, hey, Paul, man, check this out. So I gave him that little bottle, man. We went in the bathroom. We in the bathroom snorting coke. So I'm like, hey, get some. Take some of it. But I got some cocaine from this white boy, extorted some coke from this white boy, man, at this trade school I was going to out in Torrance. Some dude told him, yeah, man, that dude's a gangbanger, man. And the white boy was scared, man. He kept giving me drugs and shit. So I'm like, yeah, okay. But anyway, I had a whole vial of coke. I had a whole big bag full of that shit. And this was way before the rocks. This was like in the snorting days.
Yeah.
But yeah, that shit blew up. That shit blew up that night.
So KP.
That shit blew up.
So tomorrow I'm trying to find out how many times Kanye got shot, and whose Skylark did Raymond have?
It was a Skylark. Raymond had a Skylark. Either it was his, or it was Philip McCain's.
I would go on a limb and say it had to be Philip McCain's.
Because Philip had the Skylark, and Raymond. We used to call him Shotgun. Rifleman. We used to call Philip McCain Rifleman, but Raymond called him Lizard. Raymond Washington called him, nicknamed him Lizard. But if you get a chance to get some old pictures of him, then you'll see why he called him Lizard. Yeah, but and he was supposed to be one of the guys that linked up the shorelines with the rest of the Crips. I don't know how true that is.
So they said, when was you doing the cocaine? Before high school or after?
I was doing cocaine while I was in high school.
Okay, all right.
So, because Superfly came out in '72, and when that shit came out, the movie came out, everybody was trying to get some coke, and I was a little ahead of my time. I was way ahead of my time. Shit, by the time I graduated from high school, I was doing a whole lot of other shit. Counterfeit. I was running counterfeit food stamps, holes on Century. I was doing all kind of shit, dude, to get that money.
Back then, food stamps was a little card.
The little pieces, the little strips that kind of look like little fake, like play money.
Yeah.
And we had a whole bunch of counterfeit food stamps, man. I got caught with that shit.
Damn.
Went to jail over that shit, man.
Damn. Was it federal or state?
It was. I didn't have to do no time or none of that shit because my uncle, which was at the time connected, he come down to the jail and got me out, man. They didn't even hit me with no charges.
Oh man, you talking about snitches? I'm gonna have to check your paperwork.
No, it wasn't no snitching involved. It wasn't no snitching involved. Man, I was that little spot, man. It was a little corrupt little shit, man. Just you gotta remember, man, back in the day, Compton had their own police station. They had their own police force. Yeah. And them motherfuckers was corrupt as hell. Yeah. They'll take a bribe in a minute. So yeah. I didn't do no time though. Man, didn't do no time. But I'm telling you, man. Oh boy, I was like I said when in the beginning, I was addicted to the streets and addicted to making that fast money. Yeah, I feel that. That fast money, that easy money. And when I dropped it, I dropped I dropped the banging first to get into the money. Because to me, at that time, gangbangers wasn't making no money. It was a few that might have been going out doing some stupid shit. But I couldn't understand. I said, nigga, why y'all doing this shit? Because if you look at the movies, the movies, the gangsters in the movies, they was about paper. Yeah. Me coming from Chicago, I knew the gang shit was about money. It wasn't about no fucking colors and all that shit. So that's why I didn't really gravitate 100% into it, because I was focusing on my dollars. Right. By the time I turned 16, I had enough money to buy a fucking car and fix it up and low ride it and all that shit without asking my people for a dime. Right. But I'm serious, man. It's I don't understand why gangbangers don't understand why the shit. They're more focused on neighborhoods and all of that, when it was originally supposed to be about cash, getting paid. So I had to leave the gang in order to get paid. Yeah. I wanted these niggas, and I presented some shit to them of what we should do. And every time I said it, they would shoot it down. East Los in the house. Hey man, I don't know. When people say that, I can't picture it because that was before my time, and then during my time, man, we did both. We got money and gangbang. That's what I'm saying. You guys, the next generation and generations after that, gangbanging and making money was all hand in hand. Right. But early on, it was just about fighting and territory over nothing. Territory over nothing. Because don't nobody own none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. Nobody owned nothing. It was guys that used to come all the way from the east side to try to terrorize people in Inglewood, taking coats and bikes and all that shit. stealing people's bikes and shit all down by Devil's Dip. And, but, that was like a necessity. I don't know, for some reason they looked at Inglewood like, oh man, it's easy pickings. But when we started getting together and fighting back, then they was like, whoa, wait, these niggas on a whole different shit here. They're on a whole different level. They're more than what we thought. But they didn't realize the fact that we was fighting them fucking white boys all the time. So fighting was just second nature.
Right.
Telling you, man. It was a trip.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna hook you and Cutes up, and we'll come up with a date and a time. And
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you can ask him all them questions. Cutes kind of likes your style, man. Yeah.
Hey, man, we probably about the same age, around this same era.
Yeah, y'all the same year.
Okay, yeah. So he knows, man, that it was an air that was in LA. It was in the air.
Mm-hmm.
I remember guys when I was at Monroe in '71 before we graduated, like around May or something like that. This cat named Howard. It was like, hey man, I'm with the Crips. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I knew about the Smacks because another one of my, right hand man, my lieutenants was Greg. Greg, he was like, man, they got some guys over there, man, by Imperial Western, man, called itself the Smacks, and they wearing these Smacks. Dig 'em Smack t-shirts, man. They getting over from Kmart. I'm like, what the fuck is that? That turns out from the knowledge that I got off Kev Mac videos, y'all getting this knowledge on Kev Mac videos. That was Tookie and his boys that went to Henry Clay.
Right.
I was at Monroe Junior High School.
Melvin Hardy and his boys.
Yeah. Yep. So,
hey, so yeah, I'm gonna hook you up. I'm gonna give you last 5 minutes to Buck. Good looking out for coming on, man, and good conversation.
Sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, have a good one, man.
All right, you too. Thanks. All right. Uncle Buck, where you at, man? Come on, Buck. Let's hear your elementary conversation and your dry jokes. Jokes drier than your girlfriend's coochie, but come on. Come on, Uncle Buck. Let's hear your jokes, man. Come on. I know you got some jokes. Come on, man. You got 5 minutes, nigga. If you're lucky, I'll give you 12. Because I know you're a cop. Good looking out, Ralph. Come on, Buck. Put your clothes on, man. Tell your girl to go down in the basement, nigga. Put your pipe down and come on. I can't do no pilling out, man. I pill out, I look like Shaniqua, man. I look like Shaniqua up here and Crystal down here. I can't do no pilling out, bro. Come on, Buck, where you at, nigga? You got 4 minutes left, fool. Dang, Jerome Wallace, you better go get some of that lotion, man. There go Uncle Buck. Come on, Buck. What you waiting on, homie? Buck, take your thumb out your booty, nigga, and come on in. Buck don't want none. Buck just wanted to donate. Good looking out, Buck, for your donations. I appreciate your super chats. I appreciate your dry jokes. But I don't appreciate you wasting my time, man. I gave you 5 minutes, nigga. You got 3 left. You don't want to put that pipe down. Like if y'all, some of y'all real dudes, right? I know y'all been in dope spots before, right? So you in a dope spot. Haven't you seen that smoker that don't want to do whatever it is that need to get done? He want to take that one more hit. Hold on. Then they get stuck and can't talk. And they be sitting there, and it's like they hearing stuff in their ear. They be like, that's Buck.
Yeah, man. This is Buck, man. What's up with you, man? I love how. Ooh.
You
Yeah.
what?
Nigga.
You got 2 minutes, fool.
To do what, nigga? What you mean I got 2 minutes, nigga? What a barbecue, nigga?
Man, you show dropping them N-bombs. Carl Jackson, what up, CJ? What up, homie?
What's up with you, man? Creole.
You taking your last hit.
No, nigga, you a Creole, man. We barbecuing out here.
I don't care, man.
You don't care?
What's up, though? You barbecuing at 11:30 at night?
Yes, sir, nigga. What? Why not?
Yeah.
I don't live in a condo. I don't live in a condo.
You ain't burning nothing but meth, man. Cut it out.
Meth? What you say? Ooh.
Your middle name, fool.
That's my middle name?
It's your middle name.
What you gonna do about it, nigga?
I'm gonna give you 1 more minute and I'm out of here.
My nigga K Dub, man. What's up, man? Your glasses. I really came on here on some real shit. Grandma glasses. It's out of here, bro.
You really sound drunk, bro.
I'm a little faded.
Yeah, I could tell.
You ain't drinking no more?
Nah.
Why not, man?
I don't want to look like you.
Look like me? A lot of people don't look like me, man. Why you want to look like me, Kev Mac? Why you don't want to look like me?
You look like a fly, nigga.
Nigga, a fly. Exactly. Check this out.
Man, that little old $2 bottle.
This is a $50 bottle, man.
Man, you crazy. Get out of here.
You crazy as fuck, man.
Show me the label.
Show you the label?
It better not say Taka Vodka.
Bet it won't.
Bet it will. Gotcha.
I'm buff, nigga.
Yeah, you
I'm
got
buff.
some money right now, huh, Buck?
I ain't got no money.
You got a $15 bottle.
Let me tell you what happened, nigga.
Jerome said, don't sex play, man. He said, you about to sex play.
I'll fuck Jerome up.
No, you won't.
Yeah, I would. Everything.
All right. Well, you take it easy, brother. Thanks for the super chats, man.
I ain't sent you nothing. What you talking about?
Oh, that wasn't you. That was your girl. Tell her
Nah.
thank you, man. I appreciate it.
What the fuck? This nigga's in fantasy.
I'm sitting up here looking like
let's talk about politics. Let's
like, nigga, I'm finna come out your back door when you come in the
Kev,
front.
let's talk politics, man. Let's talk politics.
What you want to talk about, man?
Motherfucker, did I not say that your fake ass
Dodgers.
Respectfully, that your
Bye, Buck. See you later.
Come on, man. Don't turn me off now.
Man,
I ain't done talking. You like inflation, nigga?
I love inflation, nigga.
You can afford it. Everybody can afford it. Everybody ain't like you. You's a pretty nigga, you know what I'm saying?
I told you your girl think I'm Michael
Kev
Jordan,
is a pretty nigga. Look at Kev.
Ain't nothing wrong with being pretty, nigga. You proud of being ugly?
You proud of being pretty, nigga?
You proud of being ugly? I'm proud of being me.
You proud of being pretty, nigga?
I'm proud of being me, nigga. I don't look at myself as pretty.
You a light-skinned nigga. Look, man.
And that's pretty to you? Like you ever had a light-skinned nigga go up in you or something, Buck?
I never had nothing like that, but I had closer to that. I
Yeah,
had
you
a light
you
skinned
look
nigga.
like
I had a light skinned
you
nigga
look
that
like you weren't trying to go out with Jamel Barnes.
Kev, let me tell you something, man.
Tell me.
Where you from, man?
I'm from my mama womb and my daddy nuts, nigga. Good night. Salute, Buck. Y'all take it easy, man. Jerome, you was probably right. I'm gone. Y'all have a good night. See y'all soon. Peace.